Have you ever noticed how one small moment, a word, a delay, a memory, can completely change your mood? 1 second you're fine and the next your whole energy shifts. But here's the truth that most people never realize: your mood is not a reaction, it's a decision. Every morning, life hands you two invisible buttons. One says good mood and the other says bad mood. Most people press the second one by habit before the day even starts. Think about it. The mood you choose decides your day, your energy, your relationships, even your health. Science now proves that your emotional state shapes your hormones, your focus, your immune system, even how long you live. So if your mood is that powerful, shouldn't you learn how to master it? Today, I want to show you something simple yet life-changing: how to choose a good mood, even when life isn't good to you. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because this might just be the reminder your heart's been waiting for. That peace, happiness, and motivation aren't found outside you. They start with the choice you make inside. Let's begin. You see, life gives us choices every single day. Not always easy ones, but choices nonetheless. And one of the most important choices we ever make, though most people don't even notice it, is the mood we decide to live in. It's not written anywhere that we must start the day tired, irritated, or discouraged. Yet so many people wake up, check their phone, see one bad message, and suddenly the whole day's mood is already ruined. And they haven't even had breakfast yet. What's really happening? They didn't choose their mood. They allowed the world to choose it for them. They surrendered their emotional steering wheel to circumstances, people, and random events. And when you do that long enough, you start believing that happiness, calmness, or motivation are things that only happen to you instead of something you create. But imagine if you flip that thinking around. Imagine realizing that your emotions respond to what you focus on. You don't control every event, but you do control how you interpret those events. That's where your power lies. The way you look at a situation decides how it makes you feel. The same rain that ruins one person's day refreshes another's garden. Same rain, different mood, because of a different choice. So the question is never, what's happening around me? The real question is, what meaning am I giving to it? If you think about it, most of what we call a bad day is simply a collection of moments we interpreted negatively. Someone spoke harshly, we took it personally. Traffic was slow, we called it terrible. The plan changed, we labeled it unfair. We give everything a meaning, and then live inside that meaning. Choosing a good mood doesn't mean pretending everything's perfect. It means deciding to hold your peace even when things aren't. It's saying, I won't let the outside world decide how I feel on the inside. It's emotional self-leadership. Some people wait for a reason to feel good. They say, I'll be happy when I get that job, when I have more money, when people finally understand me. But that's like waiting for the weather to change before you go outside. You'll be waiting forever. Happiness doesn't come after achievement, it fuels achievement. A good mood attracts better thoughts, better actions, and better results. And here's something powerful: you can train this. It's like a muscle. At first, it's not easy. When life throws a problem, your first instinct might still be frustration or worry. But if you pause, breathe, and choose differently, even once, you've already changed your direction. Over time, that pause becomes strength. That strength becomes wisdom, and that wisdom becomes peace. I like to think of moods like radio stations. Every emotion broadcasts on a different frequency: gratitude, anger, peace, joy, fear. You can't pick up two at once. If you tune into anger, you can't hear peace. If you tune into gratitude, fear loses its signal. So, every morning, you decide what frequency you're going to broadcast to the world. That's why it's called a good mood. Because it's good, you can choose it. And make no mistake, your mood affects more than you realize. It shapes your relationships, your productivity, even your health. When you walk into a room smiling, open, calm, people feel it. Your energy becomes an invitation. When you walk in angry or tense, people feel that too, and they pull back. Energy is contagious. So the way you show up doesn't just change your day, it changes everyone else's too. The secret is to start small. You don't have to conquer every emotion at once. Begin by noticing your triggers. What steals your peace quickly? What stories do you tell yourself in those moments? Then question them. Ask, Is there another way to see this? Usually there is. You'll find that what upsets you often isn't the event itself, it's the interpretation. And if you can change that, you can change almost anything. Each time you choose calm over chaos, gratitude over complaint, patience over irritation, you build emotional power. You take back the authority that's always been yours. Before long, you'll realize that no one can ruin your day without your permission. So tomorrow, when you wake up, pause before reaching for your phone, before stepping into the rush of life. Take a breath and ask yourself, what kind of mood will I choose today? Not based on the weather, not based on who calls or what happens, but simply because you can. You'll find that once you start choosing your mood on purpose, life begins to cooperate in ways you never expected. Opportunities open up. People respond differently. You attract calm instead of conflict. Because when you choose a good mood, you're not escaping reality, you're mastering it. And that's where real power begins. With one simple, quiet, and visible decision to choose how you feel before the world decides for you. You know, it's an amazing thing, the way our thoughts can create the entire weather system inside our minds. Some people walk around under constant gray skies, wondering why nothing ever seems bright, while others carry sunshine wherever they go, even in the middle of a storm. And it's not luck. It's not fate. It's simply that they've learned to control the conversation that happens inside their own head. See, every day we wake up, our mind starts talking, whispering stories about who we are, what's wrong, what's right, what's possible, what's hopeless. Most people never stop to question those stories. They just accept them like a radio that's always on in the background. But here's the truth. You can change the station. You can decide what kind of thoughts play in your mind. And that decision, more than anything else, determines your mood, your energy, and the way you experience life. Our thoughts are like seeds. If you plant weeds, you'll get weeds. If you plant flowers, you'll get a garden. The soil doesn't argue, it just grows whatever you plant. Your mind works the same way. You plant worry, fear, resentment, it will grow into anxiety and bitterness. But plant gratitude, purpose, and understanding, and your mind will begin to grow peace. The challenge is that most of us are planting without paying attention. We let other people, social media, the news, even old memories throw seeds into our mental garden. And then we wonder why it's hard to smile. The real work begins when you start catching your thoughts. Just start noticing them, not judging, just observing. You'll be amazed at how often your mind drifts toward the negative. It's like a habit. The mind loves to replay problems, exaggerate fears, and predict the worst. Why? Because it's trying to protect you. It thinks it's keeping you safe. But in reality, it's keeping you small. The moment you become aware of that pattern, you take back control. Here's what most people don't realize. The body listens to every thought you think. If you're constantly telling yourself, I'm tired, I can't handle this, nothing ever works out, your body will respond with fatigue, tension, and low energy. But if you say, I can handle this, I'm learning, I'm growing, the body listens to that too. It straightens up, it gives you energy. You start to feel capable again. You can literally talk yourself into strength or weakness. That's how powerful your inner dialogue is. The words you use, even silently, are instructions to your nervous system. You can't feed your mind poison and expect to feel healthy. You can't feed it doubt and expect to feel confident. You have to feed it what you want it to produce. Think of your thoughts like mental nutrition. Junk thoughts create junk moods. Healthy thoughts create mental energy. And it's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about telling the truth in a more useful way. Instead of saying, I'm stuck, you say, I'm in the process of figuring it out. Instead of, I failed, you say, I learned something valuable. You're not denying the situation. You're redirecting your mind toward a more empowering meaning. Because the meaning you give something becomes the feeling you live with. You can watch two people face the same problem and respond completely differently. One gets bitter, the other gets better. One asks, why me? The other asks, what can I learn? It's the same event, but their thinking creates two completely different emotional worlds. One lives in thunder, the other in sunlight, and it all starts with a single thought. When you learn to master your thoughts, you learn to master your emotions. You stop being a slave to every mood swing and start becoming the architect of your inner climate. Sure, you'll still have moments when negative thoughts sneak in. We all do. But you'll notice them faster. You'll learn not to give them free rent. You'll say, no, not today, and shift your focus to something that gives you power instead of pain. And here's something else: the mind follows focus. Whatever you focus on expands. If you focus on problems, they grow. Focus on possibilities, they grow too. Focus on what you lack, you'll feel empty. Focus on what you have, you'll feel rich. That's not magic. That's psychology. You're training your mind to see what you want to experience more of. The next time you catch yourself thinking something that drags your mood down, stop and ask, is this thought helping me or hurting me? If it's hurting you, replace it. If you can't replace it right away, at least question it. Say to yourself, maybe that's not the whole story. Because often, it isn't. Your first thought is rarely your best thought. Give yourself the space to choose a better one. Thoughts are like clouds passing across the sky. You don't have to chase every one of them. Some can just drift by. You are not your thoughts, you are the thinker behind them. And once you understand that, you can choose which thoughts deserve your attention. So guard your mental space. Keep it clean, keep it bright, keep it strong. Because whatever dominates your mind will eventually shape your life. The sky outside may change, but you control the weather within. You know, it's a remarkable thing how closely the body and the mind are connected. Most people think their feelings control their movement. I don't feel like doing anything, so I'll just sit here. But it actually works the other way around. Your movement controls your feelings. The way you move your body sends signals to your brain about how you're supposed to feel. That's why when you're slouched over, staring down, breathing shallow, your brain says, we must be sad. But if you stand tall, pull your shoulders back, breathe deeply, your brain gets a very different message. We must be confident, alive, ready. You can't separate the mind from the body, they're teammates. And when one isn't doing well, the other follows. So if you ever find yourself in a bad mood, start by moving. Don't wait to feel better before you act. Act first, and the feeling will follow. That's one of life's greatest secrets. Most people are sitting around waiting for motivation to come before they move. But movement is what creates motivation. Think about the last time you went for a walk when you didn't feel like it. You dragged yourself out the door, maybe telling yourself you'd just go for 5 minutes. But after a few steps, something starts to change. Your breathing deepens, your mind clears, and suddenly the problem that felt heavy starts to feel manageable. You come back home feeling lighter, not because the situation changed, but because you changed. The body is an incredible medicine cabinet. It has the cure for stress, anxiety, and low energy built right in. You just have to open it through movement. And it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't need a gym or equipment or an hour of time. 10 minutes of stretching, a walk in the sun, a few deep breaths. Those small acts shift your chemistry. Your body begins to produce serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, nature's happiness chemicals. They are free, legal, and always available, but you have to earn them through action. That's the beauty of it. When you take care of your body, you're not just improving your health, you're tuning your instrument. Your energy becomes sharper, your thinking becomes clearer, your emotions stabilize. When you neglect your body, it's like trying to play music on an untuned guitar. Everything sounds off. That's why some people can't find their rhythm in life. Their body's out of tune. There's a direct link between movement and mood. When you move your body, you move your energy. When you sit too long, your energy stagnates, and with it, your thoughts. Ever notice how when you sit in one spot too long, your worries grow louder? But the moment you start moving, those thoughts start to quiet down. It's not because your problems disappeared, it's because your blood started flowing again. The body cleanses the mind. Your posture alone can make a difference. When you walk into a room upright, shoulders back, head high, breathing steady, you tell the world, and more importantly yourself, I'm ready. You can feel weak inside and still choose to stand strong outside, and that physical choice can pull your emotions up to meet your body's message. Power isn't always a feeling first. Sometimes it's a posture first, and there's another side to it: rest and recovery. Movement gives energy, but rest restores it. Without proper sleep, no amount of positive thinking can keep your mood steady. The body has to recharge. It's not laziness, it's wisdom. The person who honors their body with both movement and rest lives in balance. They wake up clear, not cloudy. They face the day ready, not reactive. We often underestimate how physical our emotions really are. Stress lives in your muscles. Frustration tightens your jaw. Worry knots your stomach. The moment you start moving, stretching, breathing, those emotions have somewhere to go. You literally release the mood that's been holding you down. It's nature's reset button. The next time you feel stuck, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, don't start with your thoughts, start with your body. Move something. Go outside, take 10 deep breaths. Stretch your arms wide and stand in the sunlight for a minute. You'll feel a change, maybe small at first, but real. And that little shift in energy can change everything. Because once you feel different, you'll think different. Once you think different, you'll act different. And once you act different, you'll live different. Life rewards movement. Nature rewards flow. The river that moves stays fresh. The one that stands still grows stagnant. The same rule applies to you. Stay in motion, physically, emotionally, mentally. Not rush motion, but purposeful motion. The kind that keeps your energy alive, your mind clear, and your spirit light. So don't wait for a good mood to find you. Move your way into one, because when your body comes alive, your spirit follows right behind it. You know, sometimes people wonder why they wake up tired, unmotivated, or moody, even when nothing particularly bad has happened. They'll say, I don't know what's wrong with me today. But often, it's not life that's wrong. It's the way we've been fueling and resting this remarkable machine we live in. Your body isn't just a vehicle, it's the foundation for your emotions, your energy, your attitude. And if the foundation is weak, the mood on top of it can't stay strong for long. What you eat, how you sleep, how much water you drink. These things seem simple, almost too simple, but they shape your entire emotional world. You can't feed your body chaos and expect your mind to feel calm. You can't run on empty and expect to feel full of life. The body and the mood are business partners. When one goes down, the other follows. Let's talk about food for a moment. Most people eat for taste, not for energy. And taste is fine. We should enjoy our food. But if you ever notice, the things that bring a few seconds of pleasure often steal hours of peace afterward. Too much sugar, too much caffeine, too much fast food, they make the mood spike and crash. You feel great for a few minutes, then suddenly you're irritated, tired, unfocused. That's not a personality problem. That's chemistry. You've given your body a roller coaster, and now your emotions are just holding on for dear life. Now imagine eating in a way that supports your mood. More real food, more water, fewer chemicals. Simple meals that keep your energy steady instead of scattered. You don't have to become a nutrition expert. Just pay attention. Notice how your body reacts. The food that gives you peace is the food that deserves to stay. The food that steals your calm, you let it go. Because everything you put in your mouth either fuels your fire or fogs your mind. And then there's water. It's amazing how something so ordinary can make such a difference. Most people walk around slightly dehydrated, wondering why they're tired, cranky, or mentally dull. The brain is mostly water. The blood that carries oxygen and nutrients to every cell, water. When you're dehydrated, your body sends stress signals. And what does stress feel like? Anxiety, tension, fatigue. You can't think clearly when your cells are thirsty. Sometimes the simplest fix for a bad mood isn't a new mindset, it's a glass of water. But there's another piece, rest. And I don't mean just sleeping, but quality rest. Your mood needs sleep like a plant needs sunlight. When you rob your body of rest, you're borrowing energy from tomorrow to pay for today. You might get away with it for a while, but the bill always comes due. People say, I'll sleep when I'm done. No, you'll be done if you don't sleep. You can't live a bright life on a dark battery. Sleep is where your brain repairs itself. It's where your emotions process, your stress resets, your body heals. If you don't give yourself that recovery time, every little problem feels 10 times heavier. The same situation that you could handle easily after a good night's sleep suddenly feels impossible when you're exhausted. That's not weakness. That's biology. Your resilience lies in your rest. You see, the mood is like a mirror that reflects what's happening inside. If your nutrition is poor and your rest is shallow, the reflection will be cloudy. You'll see frustration, fatigue, impatience. But take care of your inner world, and the reflection starts to shine. You feel lighter, calmer, more capable. It's not magic, it's maintenance. And let's not forget the small habits that support this balance. Getting sunlight, breathing deeply, stretching, stepping away from screens once in a while. These things aren't luxuries, they're lifelines. Your body wasn't built for nonstop rush, endless scrolling, or eating on the go. It was built for rhythm, action and rest, light and dark, inhale and exhale. When you live in that rhythm, your mood finds its natural harmony again. Some people think that discipline in these areas means giving something up, but what you're really giving up is exhaustion. You're trading irritation for clarity, trading chaos for consistency. When you take care of your body, you're not being selfish, you're being smart. Because when you feel good, you think better, work better, love better. The people around you get a better version of you. And it's not about perfection, it's about awareness. You don't have to change everything overnight. Start with one habit. Maybe it's going to bed 30 minutes earlier, or drinking more water, or having one real meal instead of processed food. Small hinges swing big doors. One healthy choice leads to another. Before long, your energy starts to rise, and with it, your mood follows. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Your emotions, your creativity, your peace of mind, they all come from the energy you build inside. Take care of the machine, and the mood will take care of itself. Because a calm mind lives inside a cared for body. You can always tell a lot about a person by the kind of energy they keep around them. Every day, whether we realize it or not, we are soaking in the attitudes, emotions, and moods of the people and environments we spend time in. The truth is, mood isn't just personal, it's contagious. If you spend your time around people who complain, you'll soon find yourself complaining. Spend your time around people who are excited about life, and suddenly your own energy rises. You begin to think a little bigger, smile a little more, expect a little better. We become like the atmosphere we live in. That's why protecting your energy is one of the wisest things you can do. Because if you let just anyone handle your spirit, you'll end up drained and discouraged, wondering why your motivation disappears. It's not that you're weak. It's that you've been standing in the wrong weather too long. The people you surround yourself with are like the climate for your soul. Spend enough time in a storm, and you'll forget what sunlight feels like. You've probably noticed this before. You're in a good mood, maybe even having a productive day, and then someone calls just to unload their problems, or a coworker starts complaining about everything. By the time you hang up, you feel heavy, irritated, maybe even tired, and nothing in your life actually changed. That's how powerful energy transfer is. Other people's emotions can find their way into your system if you don't learn how to guard your mental space. Now, this doesn't mean you shut everyone out or become cold. It simply means you choose with awareness. There's a difference between being compassionate and being consumed. You can listen, you can care, but you don't have to absorb. It's like standing in the rain with an umbrella. You can be present without getting drenched. You can love people without letting their chaos become your climate. The truth is, not everyone deserves access to your energy. Some people add peace, others subtract it. Some multiply your joy, others divide it. And once you start noticing that, life begins to change. You start choosing where to invest your attention, and that single choice can change your entire emotional balance. Pay attention to how you feel after you spend time with someone. Do you leave the conversation lighter, more inspired, ready to move forward? Or do you leave tense, irritated, and drained? Your emotions will tell you everything you need to know about that relationship. Listen to them. That's your intuition, your internal compass pointing you toward peace. And it's not just people, it's what you feed your mind every day. The music you listen to, the shows you watch, the news you consume, the pages you follow online, they all leave fingerprints on your spirit. You can't fill your mind with negativity all day and expect to feel calm and optimistic. You can't feed your mind anger and expect peace to bloom. Every image, every word, every sound plants something. So be mindful of what you allow in. Sometimes the best thing you can do for your mental health is to turn down the noise. Take a break from the news, mute a few toxic voices, and spend a little time in silence. Silence is not empty, it's full of information. It allows you to hear yourself again. That's where peace lies, just under all the noise. And while you're protecting your energy from the wrong influences, Remember to feed it with the right ones. Spend time with people who lift you higher, who challenge you to grow, who make you laugh, who remind you of your strength. Read something inspiring. Listen to something that feeds your spirit instead of draining it. Go places that calm your soul, the park, the ocean, even your own quiet corner. When you surround yourself with uplifting energy, your own energy begins to expand. Energy protection is not selfish, it's stewardship. You can't share light if your flame keeps burning out. Protecting your peace is what allows you to keep giving your best to the world. Because the truth is, you can't inspire others from a place of exhaustion. You can't pour joy into someone else's life if your own heart is running on empty. So you learn to step back, recharge, and come back stronger. There will always be people and situations that test your calm. The world won't stop being noisy, but you can build stronger walls around your inner peace. You can decide who gets your time, what gets your attention, and how deeply you allow it to touch you. And that decision, repeated day after day, becomes your shield. When you start valuing your peace, you stop chasing every opinion. You stop reacting to every disturbance. You realize not every battle deserves your energy. Some things are better left unanswered. Some people are better loved from a distance. Some situations don't need fixing. They need space. So be mindful of the company you keep, the content you consume, and the conversations you continue. Because all of it is shaping your emotional climate, even when you're not aware of it. Choose wisely. Protect your energy. Because your peace is the power that keeps everything else in balance. You know, a good mood doesn't just happen by accident. It's built piece by piece, habit by habit, moment by moment. People often think that happy people are just lucky, or that they were born with some kind of special optimism that the rest of us missed out on. But that's not true. They've simply learned how to practice their mood like a skill. They've turned positivity into a discipline. It's not that their lives are easier, it's that their focus is stronger. Every day, you and I are faced with hundreds of small choices, and each one points us either toward peace or frustration. You can wake up and reach for your phone, scroll through chaos, and start your day reactive. Or you can pause, take a deep breath, whisper a few words of gratitude, and start your day centered. You can go through the morning worrying about what's missing, or you can notice what's already working. That single moment of awareness sets the tone for everything that follows. A good mood is not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't do it once and expect it to last a lifetime. You keep at it day after day because you understand the value of maintenance. The same goes for your emotional well-being. You have to tend to it, protect it, feed it. A few small daily habits can keep your spirit clean and your mood strong. One of the simplest and most powerful habits is gratitude. It may sound cliché, but it's a science. You can't hold two opposing thoughts in your mind at the same time. You can't be angry and grateful simultaneously. You can't be fearful and thankful in the same breath. Gratitude rewires the brain to look for what's right instead of what's wrong. And the more you practice it, the more your mind begins to notice blessings automatically. You start seeing opportunities where you used to see problems, lessons where you used to see losses. Gratitude doesn't change what's in front of you, it changes the way you see it. Another small but powerful practice is self-reflection. Taking even 5 minutes at the end of your day to ask, what went well? What did I learn? What can I do better tomorrow? Keeps your perspective balanced. You start to see progress instead of perfection. You stop criticizing yourself for what went wrong and start appreciating yourself for showing up. That shift builds quiet confidence, the kind that stays even when life gets unpredictable. And then there's your environment. We talked earlier about protecting your energy from others, but you also have to design your space to support your mood. Keep your surroundings clean, a little light coming through the window, maybe a piece of music that lifts your spirit. Your outer world influences your inner world more than you think. You can't always control the noise outside, but you can create small spaces of calm where your mind can breathe. Another daily habit that keeps your mood steady is speaking kindly to yourself. Too many people wake up and start their day with mental criticism. I'm behind, I'm not enough, I should have done more. That voice drains your spirit before you even get started. You wouldn't talk to a friend that way, so don't talk to yourself that way either. Replace it with simple truths. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm doing my best. Those words aren't fluff. They're fuel. The way you talk to yourself determines how you walk through the day. Consistency is what builds momentum. One small positive habit doesn't seem like much at first. But stack them: gratitude, movement, reflection, rest, kindness. And soon you've built a system that supports your best self. Your mind begins to trust you. It learns that no matter what happens out there, you'll show up with steadiness in here. That's emotional mastery. Not the absence of problems, but the presence of peace in the middle of them. And it's worth remembering that a good mood isn't about pretending everything's perfect. It's about training yourself to return to calm faster. You'll still have days where things fall apart, where frustration knocks on your door. But when you've built your habits, you'll have tools ready. A breath, a thought, a ritual to bring yourself back. That's what practice gives you: not immunity from struggle, but resilience through it. Make it your goal to end every day with a simple act that nourishes your spirit. Maybe it's writing down one thing you're thankful for, listening to something uplifting, or just sitting quietly for a few moments before bed. Let the day end on your terms, not the world's. That's how you teach your mind that peace is always an option. The truth is, your life won't always give you perfect circumstances, but your habits can give you a steady heart. And when you build that kind of stability inside, the world outside starts to bend in your favor, because the energy you carry becomes the atmosphere you live in. So don't wait for a good mood to arrive. Build it, one small choice at a time.